In obituary news this morning, Darlene Tyler, age 54, Bon Air, died January the 7th. Funeral service will be Thursday, January the 11th at Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, beginning at 2 p.m. The station is tonight at the Childersburg Chapel from 5 until 8. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery after the funeral tomorrow. Online condolences can be made to CurtisandSonFH.com, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Mr. Freddie McDaniel, age 59, of Sylacauga, died yesterday at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Curtis & Son Funeral Home will announce the arrangements. Mr. William Richardson, age 94, died on Tuesday morning at Bill Nichols State Veterans Home in Alexander City. Curtis & Son Funeral Home announcing. Cynthia Gallops Giles, age 54, of Goodwater, died January 6 at Grandview Medical Center. A memorial service will be held Friday at 3 p.m. from Curtis & Son North. I'll be officiating that service. Visitation 1 hour prior to the memorial service. Online condolences at CurtisandSonFH.com, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Mr. Austin Miles Ward, age 23, will be Thursday at 3 o'clock in the chapel of Raddy Funeral Home in Alexander City. Dr. Matt Haynes officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends tonight, 5 until 8 at the funeral home. Mr. Ward died January 6 at his residence. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at raddyfuneralhome.com. Mr. Ward was a member of the 6th Street Baptist Church in Alexander City. Raddy Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Willie Mae Beasley Castleberry, age 76, of Harpersville, is today at 2 o'clock from the chapel of Raddy Smith Funeral Home. Reverends Donnie Blackman and Jeff Harris officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mrs. Castleberry died January 7th at Sylacauga Health and Rehab. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at raddysmith.com. Raddy Smith Funeral Home directing. Mr. Philip Fry, age 69, died Tuesday at UAB in Birmingham. Funeral arrangements to be announced by Raddy Smith Funeral Home. Funeral service for Robert Larry Cooper, age 74, of Talladega, will be 2 o'clock on Friday at Ursery Funeral Home. A private burial to follow in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. The family will receive friends Thursday evening, 5 till 7 at the funeral home. Mr. Cooper was a member of the Mount Vernon Baptist Church here in Sylacauga and was a retired Baptist minister. Online condolences at UrseryFuneralHome.com, Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega directing. In other obituary news, funeral service today for Idell Mitchell Evans, age 78. That service will be today at 2 o'clock from Ursery Funeral Home Chapel, with burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Gardens. Ms. Evans died January 6 at Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Ella Mae Wesson, age 92, will be Thursday at 1 o'clock from the chapel of Raddy Funeral Home. Reverends Lonnie Phillips and Charles Reeves officiating. Burial in the Eagle Creek Baptist Church Cemetery. The family receiving friends tonight, 4 until 6 at the funeral home. Mrs. Wesson died Sunday, January 7th at Brown Nursing Home. Flowers will be accepted or memorial contribution can be given to the Servant's Heart Ministries, 893 Main Street, Jackson Gap, Alabama, 36861. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at raddyfuneralhome.com, Raddy Funeral Home directing. Mr. Jerry Lewis Thomas of Goodwater died January 9th at his residence, Wright's Funeral Home, announcing. Graveside service for Mrs. Gail Mallory of Alexander City is at 11 o'clock this morning at Hillview Memorial Park. The family will receive friends prior to the graveside service 10 until 10:30 at Wright's Funeral Home. Ms. Mallory died January 9th at her residence, Wright's Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Robbie Mae Matson, age 85, died January the 7th. Funeral service will be held Thursday at 1 p.m. from Lincoln Baptist Church with burial in the Lincoln Cemetery. The family will receive friends at the funeral home from 5 till 7 tonight. Mrs. Watson was a member and Secretary Treasurer of the Lincoln Baptist Church for over 40 years. She was also a founding member of the Lincoln Booster Club for some 40 years. Online condolences at EarthStreetFuneralHome.com, Earth Funeral Home directing. Mr. Roy Wilson, age 45, died January 6 in Sylacauga. Funeral arrangements to be announced later by Community Funeral Home. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Mr. Sam Wilson, Jr., age 72, died January 6 in Sylacauga. Community Funeral Home will announce the arrangements. Stephen Franklin Weathers died January 4th. A memorial service will be held Friday at 4 o'clock from First Presbyterian Church in Alexander City. The family requests a contribution be made to the Multiple Sclerosis Society or to the First Presbyterian Church in Alexander City. Robert Bobby Thompson, age 79 of Talladega, died January 7th. There will be a private burial at a later date. That's Mr. Robert Bobby Thompson, age 79 of Talladega. Georgia Ann Oliver Veazey, age 65, died December 29th in Birmingham. Visitation will be held on Saturday, January 13th, from 1 until 3 at Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga. A memorial service will follow. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that friends and family donate a children's book to the B.B. Comer Memorial Public Library or make a monetary donation to the Sylacauga Animal Shelter in her honor. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. And Candy Pickens, age 33, died at Grandview Medical Center on January the 8th. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga will announce the arrangements at a later date. These obituaries are brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.